Damon is my name, and really pleased to have some of the fighters who will take their part in this historic card coming up in a bit under 2 weeks' time. The main event, it features Nikita Tszyu, the return of the Butcher Nikita Tszyu. He's 8-0 as a professional, and he takes on the very tricky former amateur star and a very good professional in Danilo Creati, originally from Italy, now based here in Sydney as well. That is for Nikita's Australian Super-Welterweight title, and it is a stacked card as well. As I mentioned, we've got an IBF light heavyweight world title eliminator as the co-main event. That features New Zealand's Jerome Pampalone. We also have an Australian by way of Sweden and Brazil in Lynn Sandstrom, who's fighting for a version of the world title, the WBA Super Flyweight world title, against the champion from Argentina in Clara Lescurat. And we see the return of Matteo Tapia as well on this card. So it is a truly stacked card, and we can't wait to bring it all to you on main event, which is of course available via Foxtel and KO. And to repeat the details, Wednesday the 24th of April is this event, all headlined by Tszyu against Creati for the Australian Super Welterweight title. Great to be with you here at the Entertainment Quarter in Sydney today, and this event is brought to you by No Limit Boxing. George Rose is the boss there. I just went through some of those fights, 4 of them in fact. What a stacked card. Is this the best you've ever put together, George?
Look, I think it is up there. Definitely with the amount of titles that we've got on this one. I'm not sure that we've done that before. I'm not sure that we've done it, and I'm really excited that we are doing it here in Sydney with so many Sydney guys on the card, Sydney guys and girls.
How have you recovered from Vegas and the events of Vegas themselves? It was a stressful and trying week, and an exciting week as well for Australian boxing, not only in Vegas but also over in Phoenix. How have you recovered?
Yeah, look, I think overall it was a very exciting period for Australian boxing to have so many guys challenging for world titles over there in America, putting their best foot forward and putting on some great performances. I thought Liam Wilson was brilliant in Arizona. I thought he was very unlucky. You know, he stuck to a great game plan leading into that fight and was really dominating it, and was unfortunate. But you know, to have the opportunity to fight in someone's backyard for a world title on a second occasion, it was I think it was a great thing for Liam Wilson, and I look forward to seeing how he recovers and comes back. And as far as Tim's fight, mate, that was the Vegas experience was amazing. To see Tim's face plastered through Las Vegas the way that it was something that we were really proud of, something that we were really excited about, and the fight itself really lived up to the hype. You know, it was a very awkward fight, a very difficult fight, and one that Tim never took a backward step. I think he grew in status as the absolute warrior that he is from that performance. And I know personally it's not something that I would have been able to fight through or to be able to achieve, and I don't think many people in the world would have been able to do what he did in that warrior performance.
It's Nikita's day, of course, today. We're here to announce his Australian title fight, but have you spoken to Tim, and how's he going on holidays and in his recovery?
I'm letting him enjoy his holidays. Look, the camp that he had leading into that, a very long camp, Nikita was there for part of that camp, and you know, it's his time to rest and recover now, and obviously let that big split on his head recover. So he's enjoyed his holidays and ready to get back to work.
Nikita did a fair bit of his training camp in Las Vegas and alongside his brother. How do you think that experience, training there but also being ringside for that incredible and historic fight, will impact him going forward?
I know the hunger within Nikita would have only grown to be there and watch his brother headline in Las Vegas. I know it's something that a lot of Australian fighters have as something they want to aspire to be able to do, and I know the hunger for Nikita would have grown. The experience that you get in the sparring that you have in the US is really important, and I'm glad that Nikita was able to have that. So many of our top line fighters here in Australia are now looking into the US camps to get that extra sparring experience more so than anything, because our pool is a lot smaller here in Australia, and so a lot of the guys that you're sparring with are also the guys that you want to be in the ring with. So for them to be able to continue to grow as fighters, they need to be able to get over there where you've got hundreds and hundreds of hungry upcoming boxers who want to get in the ring with you, and you're able to build on your skills that you already have and your experience, and try different styles and be able to grow as a fighter. And I think that's what Nikita's been able to do in that time in the Vegas training camp.
Nikita will fight Danilo Creati, but it was a journey to get here, George. A number of opponents were meant to have this fight, fell over in one way or another. What was that journey like for you?
Look, it's always tough. This is Nikita's first fight for 2024, so he's had a really good break on the back of a massive 2023 year. And to get to this point, I think what we've had with a few different fights fall over is that we've now been able to develop a hit list for the rest of the year. So a successful fight against Danilo Creati now sets up a beautiful hit list for Nikita to finish the year.
Tell us about the challenge that Danilo Creati presents. We've seen him headlining on Main Event previously on a No Limit show when he went the distance and asked a lot of questions of Michael Zarafa. We've seen him a number of times in big wins on No Limit shows, like when he battered really Cameron Hammond, and he's had some other really strong performances. What do you think about the challenge that he presents to Nikita Tszyu?
Yeah, well look, they've both got a very similar pro record. Both have got 8 wins. Both have headlined a No Limit pay-per-view. Both have headlined a No Limit on Fox event. So they're both no stranger to the limelight and what they can do in the professional ranks. The thing that slips under the radar a lot with Danilo is he was a 5-time Italian national champ. So that amateur pedigree, you cannot go past that. Nikita spent a long time out of the ring before becoming a pro. So he was coming in raw again, whereas Danilo's, he's got that great amateur pedigree, and he's someone who could really upset the apple cart. We saw what happened with Cameron Hammond. Cameron Hammond was touted as the big comeback to the pros when he returned to the ring, and Danilo wasn't having a bar of that. So when Danilo's the underdog, that's the time when you've got to be really on your toes and really wary of what he's bringing, because he wears that underdog tag really well, and he's a guy who stays ready and can really creep up on you and present a lot of problems, because he's a very awkward fighter. He's very slick, he's very fast, and he moves in ways that we don't usually see around here. The way that he slips and dodges punches and comes back with these crazy moves that I really like watching Danilo fight, because you don't know what you're going to get. And it's the same with Nikita. You don't know what you're going to get. Is he going to brawl? Is he going to bleed? Is he going to box pretty? You don't know.
It's exciting to have you back, Danilo. I know this is a fight you've thought about in recent years. Why is this an opponent that you're interested in?
First of all, thank you everybody guys for having me here. Thank you for the promotion, for making me headliner of this immense, big fight card. I always love to fight big names. I would love to have this fight with Nikita and showcase all my skills.
You have seen some opportunities though in Nikita's fights. What have you seen that makes you confident you win this fight?
Definitely, he's a human being like everyone with some flaw. We saw those flaw with Dylan Biggs, we saw those flaw with Ben Orr, we saw those flaw with Jack Brubaker. So it's definitely a human, as I said.
You've also got a question mark around his chin, you were telling me?
Yes, it's fragile. His chin is fragile. Yes, so we're gonna go for it.
And you compared this fight to a movie earlier. Tell us about that analogy.
Yes, definitely. It's one of those movies like Rocky against Ivan Drago. I see Nikita born in the right place, with the right surname, with the right system in place. The promotion, great sparring like his brother, which is one of my heroes. The best chefs, the best doctors, you know what I mean? And definitely doesn't go to buy chicken wings in Coles as I do. And we have this kind of similarity with this movie.
So in the movie, you're Rocky, I take it?
Of course.
Okay, and when you visualize this fight and what happens in it, what do you see happening at the end of Nikita Tszyu's Danilo Creati?
I've got this romantic visualization of me again, raising my hands and taking what's mine.
Okay, thank you, Danilo. Feel free to jump back in though, because I'm going to talk to Nikita Tszyu, who comes to us as the Australian champion. He's undefeated in 8 professional fights so far. Now he's compared this to Rocky IV. Do you have a movie for us?
Any kind of scary movie where like the devil wins.
You're the devil in that instance.
Yeah.
He's placed a big question mark there on your chin. How do you feel about that?
And right here, the left side. Wait, left side? Yeah, my left side, yeah. Right here. Come on, go for it.
Do you like it when people feel that you have these flaws? Because we've heard it before. Previous opponents have described what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. Does it talk you into the fight?
It's a false sense of security for them, and I'm happy for them to have that last little win, that hope that they can win, and then I'm going to snatch it off them.
And we talked about Vegas and the training camp and watching your brother. What about that experience? What has that done to you as a fighter and as a person, seeing what your brother did over there and the way it all went down, and what do we see from that in this fight?
You know, so ever since like the interview that we had recently, I started thinking a little bit more about those words, and seeing all the blood, it was quite arousing for me. I'm attracted to that kind of gruesomeness, and if we can get it happening in this fight, I'm happy for it.
So to be clear, ideally, would you be badly cut?
I'm happy to be cut. I'm happy to be cut. I would love there to be a messiness. I would love to stain the ring. I'd love to stain my boxing shorts, his boxing shorts, whoever. Let's bring a war.
How do you feel about that, Danilo? Did you see Tszyu Fundora? Did you like the?
I loved that fight. I saw what a bloodbath was that fight. I'm really keen to go for a fight like that. I never step back.
Okay, so would you rather you get the big cut or him?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. Look, Danilo, I have nothing against you. I think you're actually a great human being. I respect you a lot. We're just in a sport where we're out here to kill each other, and there's nothing personal. But yeah, let's get bloody.
Was there also a bit of you, Nikita, in that fight in Vegas, wanting to take results out of the judges' hands? Would you like to just stop opponents from now on if you can have your way?
It's something my dad has always told me, that in order to be in full control in this sport, you have to win by KO. You can't let the judges decide your fate. And that's a thing that's always kind of stuck with me ever since the amateur days, and I'll keep holding on it.
I know some people, in seeing this matchup, have thought that Danilo is a big outsider against you. I know, though, you see this as a far closer fight. Why is Danilo such a risk for you, such a challenge?
Because he's going to bring a very tough fight. He's going to bring a tough fight in the aspect of I have to really be thinking, and he's not easy to hit. He's not going to be an easy stoppage, I would say. And it's going to, I would compare it to how when my brother fought Joel Camilleri, he's got that kind of awkward style that could well just go into the distance. This could be one of my distance fights, and I'm prepared for that. And yeah, I really think that he's got a lot to offer.
All right, tell us why we should get to the Hordern Pavilion or watch on Main Event. What are we going to see come April the 24th?
You might see a classic fight, you might see a quick fight, you might see a very gruesome fight, who knows, but there's a lot of great fights going on at the Hordern Pavilion on Wednesday, 24th of April. So everyone get down to support the world of boxing, of Australian boxing.
Thanks so much. We will face off these two fighters. George, maybe we'll do it where you are there if you want to start moving some furniture around. If that's That is Nikita Tszyu and Danilo Creati. They are your main events on April the 24th. Thanks so much for your company here today at the press conference. I'm Ben Damon. I'll see you at the fights.